Okay, you guys ready for a great day?
Yes.
Yeah? Everybody excited to be here? Okay, turn to your neighbor. Give him a high five. Say neighbor.
Neighbor. Neighbor.
You are in the right room this morning.
You are in the right room this morning.
I believe that the biggest secret to life success is to be placed into an environment where you no longer have to feel motivated, but it's just something that fuels you. It's like a magnet. There's a difference between push motivation and pull motivation. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Push is when you are, well, push and pull.
I would say push, you want to do it.
You
want it, like,
more proactive.
Yeah, push.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
But then I was thinking the same.
pull is like you're being forced. That's what I would assume.
Yep.
Or
Okay.
vice versa.
You have the incentive.
But they kind of
right?
sound the same thing, honestly, because sometimes you pull yourself.
Okay, tell me, hurry, go.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
push motivation is where I gotta push myself to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I gotta negotiate with myself. I try to put my shoes by my bed because maybe I'm trying to create a new habit and I want to push myself. And a lot of times I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. Sometimes I fail in that endeavor. Pull motivation is where you sign up for a new spin class and the person in the class just happens to be someone that you have a crush on. All of a sudden, I don't have to pull myself, or push myself to go to the gym, to the spin class. It
pulls you.
Gotcha.
me.
Okay.
So everybody,
Your purpose pulls you. Okay, got it. Kind of.
my purpose pulls me. Yeah. Everybody say environment is stronger than willpower.
Environment is stronger than willpower.
Environment is stronger than willpower. And what I try to do in my classes is to create an environment where we totally forget about everything that's happening, because I believe that the status quo is boring. You guys believe that? I think the status quo right now, it's just inundated with a flux of information, and we're drowning in information. But what are we all starving for? Everybody say wisdom.
Wisdom.
Everybody say, okay, there's two ways. Do your W like this. Stands for wisdom. I'm in a gangster rap kind of a mood this morning, okay? The W, right, this. Straight. Wisdom. Okay, now turn it around. And then there's two ways to get wisdom. It's M&M. It stands for mistakes or mentors. Mistakes or mentors. Which one's better?
Mistakes, because you learn from them.
mentor.
Well, go ahead.
I mean, both are great because that's how you learn. Yeah, mistakes are learn too.
Mistakes can be costly.
Yeah.
But you'll never learn unless you do make a mistake.
Mentor let you avoid mistake.
But experience is the best teacher.
But the price is very high to pay.
Okay, you've never learned something from a mentor?
I have. But you still have to learn yourself. Even the Bible says study to show thyself approved. That means read myself, learn myself.
Amen.
Don't just listen to you. I have to understand.
Yeah, that's right. You do. But I will tell you, you got to have the right strategy. And a lot of times we have a lot of motivation. We do want to improve our lives. We're willing to make mistakes. We're willing to take risks. I think there's a lot of risk takers here in the room. But the thing is, we could be out looking for the sunset and we're running with a lot of passion and we're running east. But what's the problem with that? The sun settles in the... So everybody say strategy.
Strategy.
Say it one more time. Say strategy.
Strategy.
Strategy is the most important word that we're going to learn today. Because I can have all the passion in the world. If I don't have strategy, then I'm going in the wrong direction. Okay? So, for those that haven't met me, my name is Ariel Ginga. I'm the founder of Atlanta Public Speaking. I started this organization out of sheer frustration. 2 ways to level up in life, either desperation or motivation. Can you imagine for me which one it was? It was desperation. Absolutely.
Desperation.
With a big fat D. Okay? It was big time desperation. I was an introvert for the first 3 decades of my life. And then in 2012, I made a radical change in my life. I created a deep level identity shift, and I transformed myself from an introvert into an extrovert. Now, prior to this, I was someone that wanted to speak. I wanted to put my ideas out there. I wanted to be articulate. I wanted to have a good vocabulary. I wanted to be someone that can just think quickly on the fly and have stuff to say. The problem is, every time I tried to open my mouth in front of a group of people, you know what happened?
You got stuck. You didn't know what to say.
And then my mind would not keep up with my mouth, and I would run out of things to say, and it was a very, very, very big pot of scrambled eggs. And it impacted every area of my life, everything from my mental health. Why would this impact my mental health? Why do you guys think? Taking me back to like my first few decades of my life.
It hurts your confidence.
You're insecure.
And
Okay.
you can, the people is social animal.
Uh-huh.
Avoiding you to have a social with anyone, if you become isolated, then the mental will be, you have nowhere to dump the trash. Just say.
Nowhere to dump the trash.
Yeah.
You better hang on to her. She's a poet and she didn't even know it. Yeah, so that's 100%. It was constantly holding up all this bandwidth in my mind, and I was always thinking, what are people thinking about when I'm walking into a room? And the truth is, what is everybody really thinking about?
Themselves.
Yeah, they're all thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to understand it, it's another thing to actually live it. Right? Because I knew these, no one's thinking about you. Right? It's one thing to watch YouTube videos on public speaking training. It's another thing to actually do it.
Yeah.
So just because I understood, no one's really thinking about you, that doesn't mean that my neural wiring understood it. My nervous system didn't catch the message. You guys know what I'm saying? So I tried Toastmasters. How many people, you went to a Toastmasters class? Okay. I did 10 Toastmaster speeches. That means you go to a bunch of classes so they could put you on the roster and give 10 speeches. They're 5 to 7 minute speeches. I did table topics where for 2 to 3 minutes you just go and talk about a random topic that they select for you. I tried business communication courses, some very well recognized right here in Atlanta. And unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to keep the confidence. Like I could muster up enough confidence to do a 5-minute speech because I would memorize it. But then what happened after the 5-minute showtime was over? I would revert back to that hermit the crab, and it was a constant cognitive dissonance where I'm like two different people, and the confidence didn't stay with me. So that racked my brain. Like it really bothered me because it also impacted not just my mental health, but it impacted my dating life. I think romance is very important. You lucky lovebirds right here. I think romance is very important. So why would this particular handicap impact my dating life? Why do you guys think? What is that?
Communication. If you can't communicate well, nothing will last in a relationship anyway.
Nothing will last.
Yeah.
And also, do you think that it would have some kind of impact on attraction that your potential
100%.
romantic partner may be feeling or not feeling?
Yes.
So it impacted my dating life, and what I really wanted was something that would give me a deep level change to where I didn't want the on-off button anymore. I just wanted to always be confident. How many people you have a self-ideal, and in that self-ideal, you see yourself, you're like, man, I have supreme confidence. It's like I imagine myself speaking on stages. I imagine there's a sea of people, right? I thought I had a lot of potential. I remember watching Martin Luther King's speeches. And I said I could feel his aura through that video. I could feel his emotions. You guys know what I'm talking about? And it was one thing to have it in my mind like a self-ideal, but it was another thing to actually, when reality, it's like you wake up from a dream and you realize that you're driving with the brakes on. Right? Everybody go like this. Say, I can't steer a parked car.
A parked car.
I can't, right? So I constantly tried, everything. I watched so many, probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos. This was all back in 2012. Hundreds of YouTube videos. I read a lot of books on this topic. Everything to try to figure out how can I be confident. I didn't want to continuously be self-conscious. And I signed up for a lot of classes. Unfortunately, nothing did the trick for me. And then not to mention, it had definitely impacted my money.
Yeah.
Why would lack of confidence impact my money situation, especially if I'm a pretty intelligent person and if I'm technically sound?
Because you lack the confidence and strategy of how.
You cannot pass the interview to have a job, right?
You're not going to feel good hiring you, yeah.
Absolutely. And if I somehow, because of the network, all that, network equals your net worth, right? Okay, maybe you have a few friends that are in the country club and they give you opportunity. So let's say you go around that loophole around the interview, you got the job, but now, let's say you're in IT. Let's say you're in IT, right? And then you think, I don't have to talk a lot in IT. Is that true? Do you still have to do team meetings and Zoom meetings and virtual presentations and internal stakeholders and senior leadership, and eventually you're gonna get like found out. And I have a person that is a friend of mine who I've been telling for a long time to sign up for the classes. I said, come on in, come sign up. It's a great bargain, and it's a 12-month kind of a deal, weekly classes. And she just kept postponing it. And when the round of layoffs came, guess what? Unfortunately, she was on the chopping block. And she was very good at her job, but she had some personality quirks and she was too timid. So it can definitely impact your money situation. I know it did for me, because there was a lot of things that I wasn't willing to go for, like opportunities, promotions, business ideas, just because of this one thing, like just literally one thing. So it was very, very hard for me to be myself up until 2012. And this was like literally for all of my life. Isn't it interesting how we can have a problem that we're dealing with for our entire life, but we can't figure out how to fix it? And then, have you ever been in a situation where you had a problem and then it was fixed instantaneously because you went to the right resource? Has that ever happened to you? It's almost like someone gave you a password. But the whole time the iMac wasn't working, not because it's hard to put the password in, it's just that you didn't know the password. And for me, I didn't know the password of like, how do I actually turn off? That's the first tip for the day that I want you to write down. Turn off your thinking mind when you're doing public speaking, or when you're doing any kind of speaking period. Turn off the thinking mind. The mouth doesn't need the mind in order to move. It's interesting because right now I wear this little pendant called limitless.ai, and it records everything that I say. And it's almost like we have a super brain that is able to record all this information that we've been holding since the age of since we were born. There's all these things coming at our subconscious. The problem is not that it's not there. The information is there. What's the problem? It's the recall, the retention. Like, how can I recall it, right? So I've been fascinated by that. And then what happens is when you turn off your thinking mind, you have access to more of your brain, because it's been said that we use about 10% of our brain. You guys ever heard that before? So if I have access to more of my brain, can you see how I have more recall to all the data that I've been gathering up like a little squirrel gathering nuts since I was born in Romania? There's all this. Think about how many podcasts you watched this week. Just data. How many conversations did you have? How many articles? How many news flashes? You see things everywhere around you. What's the problem? The problem is that you don't have access to all of your brain. And that's the part that's impacting your public speaking as well. I want you guys to know that. If you had access to more of your brain, trust me, you would be a much better speaker. The way to have access to more of your brain is to turn off the thinking mind and to be in a Zen state of meditation.
It's like driving, so you have a muscle memory of them. So you don't have to think about how to drive it.
You don't think, yeah.
You just drive it.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just go. Come on, I don't even know where I'm at.
Yeah.
How did I
But
get on
then
25?
Then you lots of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs practice. It needs the right strategy. You gotta have the right strategy to know how to do that. But it's ironic because I'm able to get results with people in about 3 to 4 sessions. That I get magical results where did I say resorts? Results. Yeah, I just came back from a resort, by the way. It's beautiful. So I help people to overhaul their personality in about 3 to 4 sessions. And usually their whole entire life, just like it was for me, they were not able to make these changes. Trust me, all of my clients did a Toastmasters class, at least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or more. All of them. And I know, because again, I gave 10 speeches at Toastmasters. So nothing against Toastmasters, by the way. If you're watching this at home, nothing against it. It just didn't work for me to the point where it gave me a complete shift in my personality. I wanted the confidence to stay with me at all times. On a date, on a job interview, in a team presentation, if I'm invited to speak at a church and it's off the cuff, I wanted to be able to just rattle things off to say without thinking, just having access to more of my mind. Now for me, it also impacted my physical health. Why would fear of public speaking or fear of speaking to people or just having these little quirks in your personality and being timid, why would that impact your physical health? What do you guys think?
I think it could give you anxiety, which would make you feel good. Just being an anxious person will make you feel like sickly.
And especially if it was something that you really wanted to do, you desired to do, and you couldn't do it, it starts to affect you mentally. It starts to affect everything about you because it was your purpose. It probably was a purpose of yours to do public speaking. And sometimes when it's a purpose, I feel like for me, it bothers you, it affects you, everything that you do, because that purpose never leaves you.
It never leaves you.
Mm-mm.
100%. So it's almost like you feel like you have a cancer or something because you have so much that you want to give and you want to like live to your potential, but you can't. For some reason, you can't. And so there's the cortisol, the anxiety. You know, people always tell me, Ariel, I'm stressed out about my presentation. I'm stressed out. I got a big thing that I got to do for college. There's so many. I've been doing this for 13 years now, full time. It's going great, by the way. When I'm not doing this give back thing for the community, I coach corporate teams. You know, and I usually wear kind of a different ensemble. Sometimes I'll go in there just like this, to be honest, because nowadays everything has changed. The landscapes have changed, so we can all be ourselves. And I don't like wearing the suit and tie. I'm not crazy about that. You know. But anyway, so I get to help out a lot of people in this area and all about personality development, unlocking their true personality, and also helping them, I would say also in terms of like life coaching, although that's not the big premise. That's not the big thing that I put on my website, but I do sprinkle a lot of good nuggets, and I believe that proximity is power. Everybody say proximity.
Proximity
is more powerful than I realize.
is more powerful than I realize.
Proximity is so powerful, guys. The fact that you're here right now, trust me, is different than watching me on YouTube. What's different about it? It's just the energy. Public speaking mastery, if you want to get really good. I'm not saying confidence, because a lot of corporate presenters, they are confident. I'm not talking about confidence, guys. I'm talking about if you want to be a great master of public speaking and want to have your charisma shine through, who wants that? Everybody say aye.
I
Okay, I'm in the right room. We all want our charisma to shine through. If you want that, then what you have to do is you have to be able to literally get out of your own way. Because for a lot of people, you don't realize, you don't know what you don't know. 80% is psychology. It's interesting because if you were at a wedding and I gave you 2-3 shots of tequila, and then you took that tequila and then all of a sudden you start speaking with so much power and conviction. But guess what? I didn't teach you anything. What technique did I teach you? I gave you 3 shots of tequila.
So you lost your mind. So your brain's not controlling your mouth anymore.
You lose that.
My man, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we can speak. In that the truth, we actually can speak. So that's a big realization, because sometimes it's not. Complexity is the enemy of all execution. My mission statement for my job, for my website, for what I do for Atlanta Public Speaking, big blessings, is I want to simplify. What's the word? Simplify the art of public speaking. So if complexity is the enemy of all execution, and if we know that if we just had 3 shots of tequila, we would totally be able to speak, then I want you to everybody say I'm closer than I think.
I'm closer than I think.
Now, am I going to whip out the tequila bottles? The Bacardi? Or am I going to start becoming a bartender here on TV? No, I'm not going to do that. I don't think listen, guys, I stopped drinking 4 years ago. I don't drink at all. I don't smoke weed. I don't do any of that stuff. So I don't think that's the solution, because how am I going to tell, my kid, yeah, hey, 3 shots of tequila every 3 hours?
Right.
Yeah, it might work on Zoom, because they can't smell your breath, but let's see what happens first day on the job. So that's not a solution. But I want you guys to know you're closer than you think. But it's one thing to think about, okay, so I can actually speak. I know if I had 3 shots of tequila, I'd be good. I can speak, but how the heck do I turn off the mind, the thinking mind, without the tequila? How can I do that? And here's where we're about to go right now. What are you saying? A punch in the head? Yeah, that might do it. You're not speaking though. So we're always communicating though. We're always communicating. So that's really where this is going to go now. It's like how do I turn off the thinking mind so I can be that liberated, free person, just like I would be if I had 3 shots of tequila. How do I do that? So that's really where this is going to go now. Okay, and it's going to be a series of different things that I want to kind of help you guys with. Number 1, everybody, we remember Newton's law. What's Newton's law? What's part of it?
Force and counterforce.
Force and counterforce. And also, an object in motion tends to stay in motion, okay? If you want to be the kind of speaker that demands attention, you have to convey emotion. What is it that creates emotion? Motion. Motion creates emotion. If we want to be the kind of public speaker that commands attention, we have to convey emotion. In order for us to feel the emotion, to transfer it over to our audience, we have to be in motion. Does that make sense, guys? So if you're up there hugging the podium, or the lectern, whatever they call it, bad, bad, bad. If you're stifled like this on the Zoom meeting and you're just like, bad, bad, bad. You want to create motion. Can I demonstrate real quick? Somebody give me a chair, okay? Because a lot of you guys, you present on Zoom. Okay, I'll give it back to you. Okay, so this one right here I call the swinger effect, okay? What happens is, like on the Zoom or on the team meetings, or maybe it's like a job interview, most people, they can be confident. I'm not looking for confident. What I'm looking for is competent. What am I looking for? Competent, okay? So a subtle little thing, everybody say small hinges, swings big doors. Subtle little thing, just like creating the swinger effect, where I go over the table and my head, notice, what am I looking for? My head is over the table. Okay? So if I'm on the Zoom, just a little thing like going over the table, making my gestures over the table. So I'm thinking my head has to oscillate like a pendulum, like this, like that, like this, like that, right? So, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here on this Zoom call. I think one of the biggest, most important things that we're going to be doing here today is we're going to come and we're going to unite as a company. And I believe that if we can create this collaboration between teams, I think what's going to happen is we're going to be able to have the kind of synergy that is almost to the point where we are probably going to move up in terms of our net ROI just from the simple little thing of having synergy. Just that alone. Why would having synergy, why would that be so important? Having synergy, okay, so what I'm doing, I'm making stuff up, so don't worry about the words. I was just blah, 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 blah. But what I'm saying is, do a little pendulum like this. Your head is over, and when your head is over, your hands will be over. And then you're leaning backwards. You could do this at the dinner table too. So a small little thing. So remember we said it earlier, an object in motion stays in motion. We want to create emotion, and in order to create emotion, we have to be in motion. So it's not good to just be still. You guys, you're still too much, is what I'm saying. Move more when you're speaking. Okay? That's one of the lessons that I want you guys to be very aware. Thank you very much for our nice chair for the stage. Same thing. Over here, I see people, they're like, da, da, da. Now they might be confident. They're corporate presenters. I'm not going for confidence. Competence. So imagine there's 3 lily pads on the stage. And these 3 lily pads, I'm anchoring the stage. I'm just pivoting. I'm moving around different directions. I'm in motion. Now that doesn't mean I'm pacing like this. I tell people, okay, walk and talk. Like, okay, walkie-talkie. No. Like plant, pivot, profile view. The other day I was thinking, profile view, right? We want to be 3D. You guys want to think about yourself. I am the laser pointer. The audience is the cat. I'm always moving. Because if I'm always moving, you know what's happening to me? I'm having a workout. Literally on stage. And that creates emotion. Everybody say a power plant doesn't have energy. It generates energy. You have to generate that energy. How do we generate the energy? We gotta move. We gotta move. We got to move, guys. You gotta move your face too. People don't know this. You probably want to be aware of this, write this down, but say, I gotta move my face. There's 3 tools to make facial expressions with. There's the eyebrows, the eyes, and the mouth. If we don't move our face, again, corporate presenters all the time, I see them very confident. They're just forgetting to do one thing. They're forgetting to move their face. They have Lady Gaga poker face. Okay? And that's not going to work for public speaking, but it is going to work for poker. But we're not here to do poker, are we?
No.
Okay? So, subtle little movements. And when you make these subtle little movements with your face, I want you to also make micro expressions with your head and your neck. Right? So if I'm talking like this, I want to make tiny little movements with my head, with my neck, with my face. They're micro. So I'm not saying, yeah, cartoon character, you know. Okay, from time to time, maybe that's okay if you really want to entertain your kids. But for the most part, you know, micro expressions, tiny little movements, face, head, all these things, so that you are the what? Are you the cat? What are you?
Pointer.
The pointer,
Yeah.
right? So if I'm just speaking to you like this and I'm not moving my head at all, I'm not moving my face at all, it's different versus if I speak to you just like this and I am creating subtle little movements. Subtle, they're very subtle. It's just different.
Yeah.
See? So I'm generating energy through my face, through my neck, through my head. You guys see it? It's subtle though. It's subtle. The question is, well, what expression should I make? Let it happen naturally. We don't think about the golf swing when we're on the golf course. We just be. We turn off the thinking mind. But we have an awareness though. We have an awareness that, I gotta move. That's a theme. It's an underlining theme that I'm thinking about. So I turn off the thinking mind, but and like on the flip side of that, everything in life is a yin yang. I turn off my thinking mind, but also I understand that I gotta be aware. So if I have to be aware, I have to bring it to the forefront of my mind. It's almost like I'm riding a motorcycle and I'm enjoying the breeze, the mountain view. I'm seeing the farms. I'm seeing everything so beautiful. Open land. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. But at the same time, you better know you're on a damn bike. Okay? Don't forget that part. Have enough presence of mind to remember that, right? So it's a dichotomy. I want you guys to pretend that there's always a camera in the room watching you. And you're on a reality show. Okay? Come on in, come on in. See if you can find a chair right over here. Just bring it in. There's a couple of cubicles in there. Don't take the one with the pillow, but like take one that doesn't have a pillow, and you'll see some over there. So I want you guys to pretend that you're on a 24-hour reality show, okay? And there's always a camera watching you. And you're able to snip the track or the video segment, the vignette, to see how you're coming across. So you get to review a lot, and you say, hold on, okay, in the last scene I wasn't moving my face too much. Okay, I gotta pick that up. I gotta get that going, right? Because these are things that a lot of times you're just not aware. Especially when the epinephrine kicks in, the adrenaline dump. Oh my God, we forget at that time to move anything. We're just like, we go back to our primitive brain. And what is our primitive brain here to do? It's designed to keep us safe. Everything that you want in life is going to be outside of the zone of familiarity. But your brain is going to work so hard to keep you in the land of the familiar. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay? So what we got to do is we got to make these tiny little adjustments, because we said it earlier. Small hinges, swings,
Big doors.
big doors, right? Tiny little adjustments. So these are the things I want you guys to think about. I want you to think about putting pauses. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a couple of things, right? Because our goal is to get to a state where we can turn off our thinking mind so that we can perform just like we would at a wedding and we had 3 shots of tequila. Beautiful. How do we do that without the alcohol? Right? I gave you guys a couple tips already. Did y'all write them down? Are y'all remembering them? Okay. So another thing that you want to do is you want to put pauses in between your words. Think about what music is. Music is notes and pauses. Imagine if there's no pauses. It would just be like no. It's the pauses. Yes, I finally found what I'm looking for. Dun, 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 dun. There's a rhythm. There's some pauses. So a lot of you guys, you're forgetting to pause. It's so important, guys, and it's worth mentioning. Now, when should I pause? Everybody say there's many ways to skin a cat.
Many ways to skin a cat.
I can pause right before I make a very important point. You know the most important thing that you're going to learn here today? Besides the right strategy? You guys ready for it? Take action now. When?
Now.
Now. See? We milk the moment. Don't rush. Don't be so quick to get off the stage. Next time you find yourself at the dinner table, Thanksgiving is just around the corner, right? We find ourselves where we're going to be starting the story. We want to contribute to the conversation. Oh, get this. True story. This reminds me. And then you notice all eyes are on you. And a lot of people, they get these short little alligator arms and their stifled gestures. And then they start to fade out to the background. And they pass the buck to somebody else. And they cut their story real short. And it's nothing but friends and family. But there's about 12 of them at the dinner table. What I'm saying is relax. Pause. Milk the moment. Milk the moment. Okay? So we got to pause. I want you guys to think about putting more tonality, more musicality, more musical notes in your speaking. See, I teach corporate presenters for a living. And you know what the biggest problem with corporate presenters, especially the ones in IT, I love you IT folks, by the way. You know what the biggest problem is? They're too monotone. A lot of times they're very confident, but very monotone. Is that good or bad?
To me, it's bad. That's boring.
Yeah,
To everybody is
boring.
bad. To everybody.
never
Oh,
wanna
cut
speak
to the punchline. To everybody is bad, guys. So one of the biggest challenges is when we're presenting IT material or complex information is how can we present that information in such a way to where it lands for the person? Because again, we said it earlier, as AI is taking over the world, the only surefire bet is personal branding. You want to stand out in the next 5 years? Work on this skill right here. Speaking. It's going to give you so many opportunities. left, right, center, from everywhere. For some of you guys, you're not even aware that just being good, not even great, but good at public speaking is going to give you newfound freedoms that you didn't even think about. How many of you understand that your motivation would go up if you simply became good at public speaking? Why? Let's parking lot that. Let's take a time out. Why? Motivation. What? How is that related to being good at public speaking? I'm talking about in life motivation. I want to go to the gym. I want to change my world, not the world. I can't change the world. Although, don't underestimate what one human can do. Look at Martin Luther King. So there are certain. Look at Mother Teresa, and she was never rich. I'm not preaching that message. I want you guys to go after the money too. Okay, go after, have it all. Wouldn't it be awesome if we have it all? Yeah. Why would being good at public speaking fire us up and make us motivated in life? Why? What do you guys think?
This makes you more confident, make you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
This is positive.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of positives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your environment is pretty much a mirror of yourself. If you shine energy to other people will give you energy too. So that's become a good feedback system.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we have these mirror neurons.
Right.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's why it gives us motivation. Do you know the biggest thing that I'm fighting right now? And do you know the biggest problem that everybody in the world is fighting right now? Starts with an A. You actually said it.
Exactly.
There's a song. Yeah, there's a song. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That is the biggest problem right now with all the tech. And it's getting worse and worse. The biggest problem that people are fighting right now is anxiety. So if you can be that catalyst, that source of good emotions for people everywhere that you go, do you know that you stand out in that room?
Yeah.
You'll be like a lightning bulb. You'll be like a little flame everywhere that you go. And you're not going to try to do anything. You're just going to be yourself. But people are going to be attracted to you like moths to a flame. And you're not doing anything at all except being your most powerful self, by the way. Because I think the advice, just be yourself. We tell that to hey, you want the girl to like you, man? Just be yourself, man. Be sure. Well, some people are like, well, this is who I am. I'm just being myself. No, be your most powerful self.
Yeah.
Most expressive self. Because I also don't believe that some characters that you put on, like a role, like the Truman Show, you decided to play this role in society and in life, I don't believe that's really you. So the question of be yourself, who are you, is a big question. I personally think that you were given a spirit of power, sound mind, and understanding. It comes from a good book that I read called The Good Book. And so I believe that's yourself. That's your identity, regardless of your religious beliefs. I'm not here to talk about that. But I think that's your identity. Power, sound mind, understanding. But a lot of us, we believe in our lie-identity. What's our lie-identity?
Something that someone else has, a characteristic that you have put on from what you have been told.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you just following the status quo,
Mm-hmm.
like being what others are being, because you never found out who your true identity
Mhm.
was.
I'm an even keel kind of person. I'm just kind of... Really? Are you? How do you know? We gotta go Freud on you. We gotta go back to to where you're in your mama's womb. We gotta go are you really that? How do you know? Someone told you, shh, tone it down. Cultural maybe? Gotta look down, it's respect.
Yeah.
I don't know. So who are you really? Like that's what I'm saying. That's a big question.
And I think a lot of people know who they are because it tugs at you. Like you know who you are, it tugs at you. Something that you can't really get away from, but it's overshadowed by
Yeah.
what you've been taught.
Yeah.
So you become what you've been taught, and you don't know how to bring that person up that you are purposely supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people just, because they don't have a strategy, or they just don't have the confidence enough to know how to bring that person up from the shadows, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Unless you're drinking 3 shots of tequila.
That's true. That'll do it every time.
But then what happens like literally 90 minutes later after you take, again, I don't drink anymore, but what happens then? You take the shots, and what happens after 90 minutes?
Revert back.
Man, now you're like you're digging down in your heels. You're digging your own grave. Then pretty soon you have a hangover. Give it enough time. I've been there. Give it enough time. You'll have a hangover in a few hours, like by the next morning. So, but yeah, essentially, like your true self tugs at you. That's why you guys are here today, because you know that there's a part of you that is meant for more. And you're like, I want the more. I want the more. The question is, how do I get the more? I'm giving you guys little breadcrumbs along the way. One of them is inject more musicality into your tone. So your goal from here on out is to do public singing, not public speaking. Public speaking is very confident. I'm a confident corporate presenter. I don't want to be confident. You guys see? A piano has 88 keys. 88 keys. And a lot of us, we're happy with just give you the little range that I got. I'm here to tell you guys, you have so much range. And listen, I blew out my vocal cords. I actually have a vocal injury. I got a neck injury. That's a condition. And you know what? That's still okay, because everybody say, do your best, forget the rest. And never compare yourself to anybody else. There's people, man, they're such performers. They can sing up here. They can do comedy. They can do all these things. I don't compare myself. I'm not Tony Robbins. I have a limitation, but you know what? I can be the best Ariel I can be. Do you know that? What's your name, by the way? Lorenzo. You know there's only one Lorenzo in this whole world that's has your assignment? Mm-hmm. And by the way, there's never going to be another Lorenzo that has your assignment, ever going to be, ever, that walked the foot of this earth. Never. So we only got one shot here to fulfill our assignment. So I never want to compete or compare myself to anybody else. My job is to run in the direction of my assignment, period. That's it. And if you do that, guess what? Every good thing will happen to you as well. If you unlock your true personality, your real personality, then guess what? The money will come too. The money will come. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to think about, okay, how can I inject a little more musicality into my tone? How can I do that? A piano has 88 keys, right? I want you guys to inject more musicality. And I want you guys to almost think of it like, go into different characters, almost like you're an actor. Go into different characters and think, okay, I want to go ahead and use different voices. Okay? Use the pauses. It's going to happen, guys. We start off with a little drill like today, and we're like, okay, we're here. The most important thing is the fact that you guys are here today. You know, 85% of success is just one thing. Showing up. You guys are here. And I can't reach you guys, but I want you to do me a big favor. I want you to reach out both hands. Reach out both hands. Turn to your neighbor, give him a pat on the back and say, congratulations for being here today.
Congratulations for being here.
I want you to get the audience to start moving. Moving. How can you get the audience to start moving? Everybody stand up. It's time for a declaration. Put your hand on your heart. Say, I promise
I promise
to become
the
best version of myself starting today. I will look for opportunities everywhere around me because I am a possibility speaker. Turn to your neighbor, give him a high five, say it's possible.
It's possible. It's possible.
Give yourself a big round of applause. Everything is energy, guys. Everything is energy. We have the attention span of a goldfish. Every single one of us is living with digital dementia. So what that means is that we got to create state changes every 6 seconds. Okay? I'm going to give you guys a big unlock to create these state changes. You guys ready? Okay? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. What you want to do is you want to vary your rate of speech. So what do we got to do?
Vary your rate of speech.
Okay. So there's going to be times when I want you to speak really, really fast. I want you to pretend that you're a rapper on stage. The words are going to be like machine gun. But there are times when I want you to speak really, really slow. Take your time with the words. Everybody say stretch. One word. We can stretch. One word. Okay, here's the biggest secret in public speaking mastery. Who's ready for the biggest secret? You guys ready for the biggest one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give y'all right now the biggest secret in public speaking mastery. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. Y'all, here it goes. Variety.
Yeah.
Create constant change-ups.
Yeah.
Create a lot of variety. A lot of it. Okay, you can have a seat. Thank you guys very much for coming out here, playing at a level 10. Today was just literally we scratched the surface. We showed up to an event like this, and the beautiful thing about these kind of events is that the time stops. Have you guys noticed that when you were here, you weren't really looking at the clock?
No.
You didn't notice that?
I know I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Because I was interested.
How you put it here? So we weren't really looking at the clock. You know, a minute on the treadmill feels like
Yeah, it does. It really does. It really does. Like, I know I've been here.
when I'm doing that HIIT training, right? But did y'all know that y'all are here probably for about 90 minutes? What time is it right now? This thing started at 10 o'clock? Maybe not quite, maybe about an hour. That was the quickest hour of your life.
It really
That
was.
was fast. That was really fast.
Especially when you like something and you want it. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in 2012, what happened to you?
I created a deep level identity shift. I transformed myself from an introvert to an extrovert.
How?
Well,
Desperation.
Something dramatic happened?
something very spiritual happened to me.
Okay.
Is I stopped believing the doubts. I stopped believing the voices. I gave in to that voice, that tug that you were talking about earlier, that tug of who I really am. And I said, if people like Martin Luther King can have so much passion and spirit when they're speaking, why can't I? Because one man can do, another man can also do. And I just said, I'm going to allow myself to become a bigger version, like King Kong version of me. And give myself permission to do that.
It just happened in one day suddenly.
That's how it happens though. Like you just wake up like, you know what? I can't, like I have to fall into my purpose. It's either you do or you die. You're either gonna leave here not living your purpose, or live your purpose. And sometimes you'll be in an uncomfortable position. It's like you're in uncomfortable, like you can't wear like those pants are too tight. I gotta take these off. I gotta do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you start you gotta walk into it.
I mean,
and you just start doing it.
the truth is, I invested in a lot of mentorship opportunities. So I put my money where my mouth was, and I just invested, because it's not like a flip of switch just like this, and I was like, oh. So I invested in a lot of mentorship, but it was worth every penny. I probably spent over $50,000 in 2012 to drain my accounts to just like fix this, because for me personally, I didn't want to be here on this earth anymore. If it was not like, and I'm not saying that that's what I believe, I'm just saying that that's what I believed. I was like, I need to fix this. See, what you guys don't understand, I used to have such severe social handicaps and fear of public speaking, and even around groups of people that I know, whenever I would speak for like literally more than 10 seconds, I would start to get weird, and they could feel the nervousness on them, and I would just like shut down. So I had very terrifying social anxiety. It was really, really bad. So for me, investing over 50K was like, I don't care. I'll put my whole life savings on it, because I don't want to live like this any longer. And I tried everything else to fix it. So it was totally worth it
So
for
it was
me.
like a handicap.
It was like like it was impacting, like I was a prisoner.
Yeah.
It was impacting everything in my life. So I invested in mentorship. But I also started to do like a mad scientist, and I started to do a lot of experiments. So mentorship, yes, experimenting a lot of things on my own, like in a little.
Like a mentor
Period.
and mistake.
Yeah.
Add together.
Yeah. I made a lot of mistakes, honestly.
That's right.
Trying a lot of social mistakes. I mean, I did a lot of things. Yeah, go ahead.
So you seek counsel's advice, or how do you go see psychiatrist, or you?
No. By the way, no, definitely not that. I mean, I tried that for a little bit, but that wasn't giving me a lot of unlocks. I sought the best public speakers in the world. I wanted to have their mindset, their beliefs, their physiology. I wanted to model their recipe, because syntax matters too, right? If you build the car before the engine, you know, or the engine before the car, I mean, one of them should go first, you know? So I wanted to do all of those things that are very, very important. And the way I did that is I invested into boot camps. And then, and I wanted to be in these kind of environments. But then I also, the thing that was different about me is I also wanted to try, not just the things that they were saying, but I wanted to try, like, they got my brain spinning. And then also when you're so desperate, you start searching and you start trying. So it was very much like something that I wanted to do.